Hello, hello. Here we are again. This is the Angels in Politics broadcast, and you should always remember that you are the news. Okay. Here I am, and I do have a message. Before we get started, have you had your breakfast? Have you had something to eat? Me neither. Me neither. I just been drinking my water today. Have you had your intake of water? Have you started your process this morning? Whatever your routine is, you have a system in place, correct? System of sequence, system of synchronicity, system of synthesis, right? So, I got on my system this morning, my sequential system, right? I woke up and prayed and I meditated and I read a little of the scripture and I went out and got some fresh air, did a little bit of exercise. Nothing too strenuous, of course, nothing too hardcore, nothing that will throw me off, right? But something that will keep me a little bit active so I can be mobile, so I can be flexible, so I can open myself up to the universe. So I do have a message. I was talking up to I wasn't speaking. I was actually at an event, and I spoke to you all about the event that I was at the other day. For my friend, he wanted me to come out, but even though I didn't choose or I made the decision not to take that opportunity, because we were talking about opportunities, and we talked about how poor means passing over opportunities repeatedly. But then I spoke also about discernment. And when you have that spirit of discernment and asking God for wisdom and asking God for the cognitive capabilities or functionalities or the just the hopefully you're just asking God just to put some systems or some parameters in place whereby you can look and detect and find things that are not right, or find things that are supposed to be right, or find things that are in alignment with what you have been used to seeing. I guess I'm asking for, or I guess with discernment, that comes with pattern recognition. That becomes with paying attention to behavioral cues. That comes into data trends. I do have some friends that are in that industry of big data or big data, and really they follow numbers qualitatively and quantitatively, but I guess they are just following the trends, and we're still talking about pattern recognition. So that's the same thing with the discernment. If you have discernment in the financial sense, in the investment sense, and you have the tenacity, you have the heart, the wherewithal to put yourself out there and make a good judgment, or not just necessarily make good judgments, but if you're following the numbers, then you can place an investment and it's not a risk. It's not necessarily as risky, or really, depending on if you've been reading Daniel Kahneman, Thinking Fast and Slow, the term risk is all subjective, all right? We risk something at any time that well, depending on how you think about it, anything could be a risk or nothing is a risk. And I believe there are no such thing as risk. It's all about your thought process and your decision making. And what is decision making? Things that come to you, encoding, you think about it, decoding, you break it down. And after that breakdown or deconstruction process, then you deliver a decision. You make a decision. And that process is how we all make that leads us to where we are in life, right? So your decisions go into your actions determine your future. So the little things. I'm trying to focus on the little things. The little things that you do every single day plays into the bigger picture. So sometimes just the little things that you think about in shifting or recalibrating or just adjusting, or I'm going to use that P word, pivoting, can just open up brand new opportunities for you. Either way, when I was speaking to the individual, he said something about, I'm going to write this down. I don't want to put this on the dresser because it might scratch it. Plan. Here's the word. Please disregard my poor spelling or my penmanship, my poor penmanship. But the word is plan. Okay? The word is plan. And when I talk about systems, when I talk about processes, when I talk about sequence, synthesis, synchronicity, what I'm talking about is putting a plan in order, acting on the plan. All right, so knowledge isn't just power. Knowledge applied is power. Whenever you are applying something, then you are, actively doing it. All right. But before you go out and just say, hey, I'm just going to do something, because I get it. We talked about the spectrum, and I mentioned that before. There's always a spectrum. We spoke about the spectrum of stability on one end, and then we spoke about the spectrum of, or the other end of the spectrum is freedom. All right. So stability might be on this side. Freedom, oh no. Freedom might be on this side. Okay? So whenever you have a plan, plans assist you, plans help you, plans are necessary, plans are a necessity for you to get to where you want. If you're here on stable or stability side and you want to get to freedom, you need a plan. All right? And from here to there, that's the plan in action. That's the system that you have in place. That's your routine. That's your political process. Okay? That's your own process that gets you to here. Let's say you're here on freedom. Don't think everybody who is, quote unquote, living the far out life, the people who will say, oh, I just do what I want and I'm great at it. They want stability sometimes. They might want a sense of stability. They might want to meet right here in the middle. All right? So let's say they're already, they're by themselves and they might be lonely. Maybe they're not happy with all the time they have. Maybe they're not happy even though they are making money for themselves, but they want something here. Maybe they want a partner. Maybe they want to build some meaningful relationships, and that's what we talk about according to Ray Dalio in the life and work principles. Life may be about, life may not be about the decadent things or the superficial things or what I call the politics. It could be about the angels, meaning what's really important in life: gratitude, generosity, thankfulness, empathy, sympathy, caring, trustworthiness, establishing meaningful relationships. That's really what life has come down to. Yeah, you might be a gazillionaire or you might be a poor man, but do you have meaningful relationships? Are there people that you can share that with? All right. So sometimes you're here in freedom. Sometimes you're here in stability. Stability land is people saying, hey, I've been married. I'm married right now. Hey, I got kids. I got kids right now. Hey, I got the 9-to-5 job now. I got the 30-year mortgage now. I got all of this that makes me stable. I got the soccer van now. Okay. I got the white picket fence right now. I'm stable as fuck. All right. But I want to get here. Maybe I want to, maybe I want to go whitewater rafting in Salt Lake. Maybe I want to go hiking in Colorado Springs. Maybe I want to go to the ranches in Wyoming, okay? So maybe they want to uproot a little bit of that stability and get here more so in the freedom side where, hey, I can do a little bit of my thing. Maybe I can bring my family with me. Maybe we can go camping together. Maybe we can go to the Sedona Valley in Arizona and get on a spiritual enlightenment path and work on ourselves and go into ourselves and meditate and spend time in silence and spend time decluttering what's in our mind, okay? Maybe you want to do things like that. You need to have a plan in order. Most people don't. What? Most people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. I'll say that one more time. I didn't make this up, of course. Most people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan. Now, no matter where you are on this end of the spectrum, the stable side, the stability side, the freedom side, the side that just says, hey, I'm free and I'm willing to do whatever the fuck I want because you can't tell me what to do. That's all well and good, but what is important to you? What are your values? What are you trying to achieve in life? What is your destiny? What are your dreams? Have you contextualized your dreams? If you can't, then get a plan in order. What's another word for a plan? That's your process. Okay? That's your process. That's the reason why I have multiple notebooks full. And people are like, what are they? Some of them have plans. A lot of them are just plans. Most of them are just plans. Plans for my future, and I've been living them the fuck out. Okay, some of them have information from the books that I read. All right, Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant is in there. Ray Dalio's graphs from his principles, life and work principles, are in there. The steps from The Richest Man in Babylon are in there. Okay, Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich's ideologies and concepts, they're in there. Okay, things of that nature. Meditations of Stoicism, I still haven't read that book. I have it on my dresser. I have to get into it. But these are plans. Okay, once you have your plan in place, then you're setting aside time. Okay, I'm going to read a chapter of this book every day, or I'm gonna sit down and read for 30 minutes every day. I'm gonna meditate 3 times a day for 10 minutes or for 5 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes might be a bit aggressive when you start off. Okay, I have my plan in place that I'm going to exercise for 20 minutes every day, and I might build it up. But once you have a plan, stick to the plan, because what you really want to do is triangulate that with your dreams. All right, your dreams are up top. Stability, freedom, plan. This is where you want to be, and this is where you are going to be. Why? Not because you listen to the Angels in Politics, not because you know anything about the white collar goon, not because I'm here talking in front of you in my underwear because that's just how I do. No, the reason why you will achieve your dreams, the reason why you will be the person who you think you are. You know, when people ask you, who do you think you are? Hey, you're cool on that shit. Actually, you like it when people say, who do you think you are? Because it's like, only if you fucking knew. Only if you knew who I thought I was. You got a plan in place. You got a plan in order. You're following your system. Most people don't plan to fail. They just fail to plan.